So he ascended to heaven.
So I think that's, I mean, I kind of think we've got to where we were when I met you last, pre-lockdown, because I suppose what I want to put to you is, would you concede that even if Christians are wrong, the concept of Jesus dying on the cross makes God more loving and more just than the Islamic idea of...
It's actually the other way around.
I'll tell you why we think this.
It's the other way around.
Okay, well, can I explain why we think that?
The reason is the other way around. It's actually devoid of God's mercy and His justice. Because justice is for a person who commits some wrong or sin, not an innocent... So killing of an innocent man is unjust. And if this was planned by your God, then your God sounds unjust.
Yes, but it was planned by Jesus himself.
Where does it say that?
Well, because and the Bible makes it clear that was the plan of the triune God before the...
Show me where it says the triune God planned that.
Chapter and verse.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think you'll find it impossible to find such a passage in the Bible.
Well,
in fact, there are passages in the Bible where it says that God doesn't abandon His loved ones, His beloveds, and the one who's beloved to Him, and His servants. So His righteous servants, He doesn't abandon them. In the case of Jesus, was He abandoned on the cross?
He was.
What does Jesus say?
My God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Yes.
But
what does that mean?
Well, then he was forsaken by God. Yeah.
Does God forsake His righteous servants?
He forgets. He forsakes, if you like, himself for the sake of his people.
No. Hold on. What do you mean He forsakes Himself?
Well, in a sense, He forsakes himself because Jesus is God.
Whom is He addressing? My God. He's not addressing Himself, is He?
Well, he's addressing God the Son is addressing God the Father.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if He's addressing God the Father, then it is God the Father who forsake Him.
Yeah, but if you like, God is forsaking God. God the Father.
That would be even more disastrous.
Yeah.
If there's only one God and He forsakes which God?
There's one God, but in three persons.
A split personality.
Yeah, that is not in the Bible. This is from the church. The three persons is not in the Bible.
Well, it is absolutely true that the word Trinity, it doesn't appear.
The word Trinity, the word God being mentioned as a person, not from the Bible.
That is
okay,
true.
so all this language which you're using is extra biblical.
Well, I would say they're biblical concepts, but
no, it can't be biblical concept when Jesus asserts that the only true God is the Father.
Well,
John 17:3.
The idea of there being more than one person within the divine nature. I would say there's lots of instances of that in the Old Testament.
Let's see something from Jesus. Go on.
Well,
where does Jesus say that God is a triune being, or God manifests as three persons, or God is anyone other than the Father?
Well, for example, in John's Gospel in the Upper Room Discourse, when he describes the Holy Spirit as being the Spirit of Christ, and I will be with you always by the Spirit.
Yeah, where does it say he's part of God?
Well, he says. It has to be the part of God.
I don't want to know your opinion. Where is it in the Bible?
Because it's the Spirit of.
And that's your opinion.
It's the Spirit of Christ. It's the Spirit of Christ, and therefore, if it's the Spirit of Christ, He must be divine. If it's the Spirit of Christ.
No, Spirit of Christ. Look, everyone, you believe you have Spirit, right? You have the Holy Spirit. Doesn't make you God, does it?
Yes, but Jesus
had the Holy Spirit. It doesn't make Him God.
Yes, but Jesus doesn't send my Spirit to be with anybody.
No, but Jesus says, "My God." Does God have a God?
Well, Jesus the Son,
does God have a God?
Well, Jesus the Son has God the Father, if that's what you mean.
I'm just asking a generic question. Does God have a God?
Are you when Jesus says, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Is that what you're referring to?
I'm alluding to that. However, I'm asking you a general question. Like if I asked you, do you believe that God is only one?
Well, I do.
You see, that's a generic question.
Yeah.
Similarly, a generic question, does that one God have a God?
Well, that's an unfair question.
Why is it an unfair question?
It's
a perfectly legitimate question. Okay, ask me the same question.
Because
ask me the same question.
Let me explain.
Because look, if anyone asked me that question, I would say, no, God is only one. and
Yeah.
he has no
Of course,
God
of course. But
because
when
he is the
Jesus-
ultimate authority.
Yes, but when Jesus is dying on the cross and says, "My God, why hast thou forsaken me?" He is quoting Psalm 23. So he's quoting a messianic figure who will die on behalf of his people, but will ultimately triumph.
No, that is David speaking.
Yes, but David is a foretaste of Jesus.
David is saying, I pray by day and I pray by night, and God doesn't listen to me. Was Jesus
But-
like that?
But yes, but he,
And you know what he says after that? He says he basically condemns himself to be reduced to a worm.
which is in effect what happens to Jesus on the cross.
Are you saying Jesus was reduced to a worm?
Well, I'm saying he was crushed and condemned by God. That's
No,
right.
he wasn't. He wasn't condemned by God.
Well,
Why would God condemn Jesus?
because he took our sin upon himself.
Wasn't that his job?
Yes, but well, it was his job, if you like. But that's what he chose to do.
Ed, if your objective is to die for the sins of the world, and you indeed die for the sins of the world, why would you be cursed for that? Why would you be condemned for that?
because God's justice has to fall somewhere. It either has to fall upon. I mean, that's the whole sort of sacrificial system in the Old Testament is all about.
No,
So
but
if
Ed,
you remember,
this is against God's justice. A just God, when he
because-
commands someone to do something, and that someone does that duty of his, then he should be rewarded instead of being condemned.
well,
Don't you
that's
agree?
that's why, if you like, at the heart of the biblical understanding of salvation is the word substitution. So we substitute ourselves to God when we dethrone God and enthrone ourselves.
No. We're talking about-
and when we sin. So
we're talking about
we
Jesus.
decide what is right.
Yeah.
But Jesus, he dethrones himself from the throne
He
of heaven
can't-
and puts himself on the cross of Christ. On the cross.
What do you mean dethrones? Wait. Are you saying? Wait. You know, when a king, hold on, when a king is dethroned, he's no more the king. You know that.